Hi, this is Joe Chambers. Welcome to Musicians Hall of Fame Backstage The Vault series. On a trip to the Georgia Music Awards back in 2011, I was lucky enough to meet up with the great songwriter and producer Buie. Among Buddy's many accomplishments, he also took a group of studio musicians in Atlanta and put together the great rock band, the Atlanta Rhythm Section. We're going to talk about that in this clip, and we hope you enjoy it. If you do, as always, hit like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new content. We also now have a Patreon account for those of you who want to help support the museum. Again, Buie.
90% of my work has been done with guitar players.
Well, that's where I was headed, was Atlanta Rhythm Section.
The way the Atlanta Rhythm Section came about was I was a big Allman Brothers fan, and the band was. The Allman Brothers had just been out and just had their first big album, and I went, wait a minute, I'm using, because at this time my studio group had expanded. I had Barry Bailey on guitar, I had Paul Goddard on bass, and Emery, and all these different musicians, and of course by this time Emery had moved on. But I said, you know, guys, I'd been making top 40 records and following one after another, and I had been real fortunate and had the long string of hits. But writing hit songs and making hit records as a producer is a very taxing job, because you're following a one, and you don't want to copy it. It's a tendency to do is copy it, but you want to. You say, well, people loved it, must be all right. So, in the same genre.
But I got to tell you though, Imaginary Lover, and I love that record today, still. It's one of those records when it comes on, I've got Sirius and all that stuff now. When it comes on, I crank it up, and I wouldn't dare change the channel. It's just a great record. The vocal, he was perfect.
Yeah.
For the record, he really delivered it well. The guitar sounds they grab you. It was just a great record, and what was the other one?
So Into You.
So Into You.
Imaginary
Yeah.
Lover.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let it bother me tonight.
And another one, great groove, man, just perfect. It's just like magic,
Well, thank you for saying that those songs were magic. I get a kick out of Imaginary Lover, because if I've been asked this one time, I've been asked 1,000. Was that song about masturbation? And the answer is yes.
I wondered that, but but what a great record, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Jeez, really a great song and a great record together.
That's what it takes to make a big hit.
Yeah.
But the Atlanta Rhythm Section, I said, guys, let's do this band thing. Y'all could be a great band. And Ronnie Hammond, who recently died, was my demo singer at the time. And so we started, and I had a manager as a producer who got us a record deal. Jeff Franklin was his name. Got us a deal with MCA, and we made 2 albums for MCA. Neither one of them were hits, but in our little circle in Atlanta, the band began to be known, and Alex Cooley, the great producer, not producer, what would you call that? He was a great promoter. Had all the shows in Atlanta, and he began to like the band. They played in his club, and we grew from there. But it was all basically session musicians. JR on guitar, session player, Emery, session player, Barry Bailey session player, Paul Goddard session player, and Robert Nix, who was with the Candymen, and Dean Daughtry, who was with the Candymen, was with Orbison. So that was the Allman Brothers was the inspiration. I said, if they can do it, we can, because Dwayne was a session player in most shows, and so that was a whole. And we were just tired of making top 40 records. We wanted to kind of spread our wings and do some things. And I was writing songs and with my co-writers that didn't fit the genre of top 40 records. And so we just basically, what happened was Al Cooper, Blood, Sweat and Tears, and Al Cooper, we had the same manager. And Jeff Franklin called and says, Al Cooper loves the sound of your studio in Atlanta, and he would love to come to Atlanta. And so he moved to Atlanta, and from that came Leonard Skinner, and he recorded in the daytime, and we recorded at night. And that's the way that whole deal came down. And I didn't take any more outside sessions at that time. I took a couple, but then I quit totally and devoted everything to the Atlanta rhythm section and trying to make it. We were determined. Everybody, we were fortunate enough the band played at the White House for the president, and the president, actually President Carter said, in introducing the band at the White House, they had a barbecue. He says, these people, this band, everybody was like me. Everybody said I'd never be president, and everybody said this band would never make it. And they really, that was the rap on us. They said all them boys is ugly, and they don't fit the mold, and so we were just damn well determined to keep doing it. And finally in '76, we went 4 years and 4 albums without really any big hits. We had Dorville, which was a regional hit.
Did you write
Yes,
Dorville? I love that song, man.
Yeah, I wrote Dorville with Robert Nix and Barry Bailey. And so in '76, we cut So Into You. And the record company says, we're going to put the whole record company behind, we believe in this. And later, a guy that became my partner, Arnie Geller, who was the vice president, moved to Atlanta and became my partner. But the Atlanta Rhythm Section was, and still is to this day, a labor of love. Ronnie Hammond died, Bill Gilmore died, who was never in the rhythm section, but he was with the Candymen, and we replaced them with different people. Other people quit, and when the thing cooled off, it cooled off in about '80.
How did you find these musicians? I mean, were they just?
They're just local. The musicians that ended up in the Atlanta Rhythm Section were just local musicians playing in local bands. Barry Bailey, the guitar player, and Paul Goddard, the bass player, played with a group called St. John and the Cardinals. JR was with the Classics 4. Dean Daughtry and Robert Nix were with the Candymen. So these were all musicians that were in my circle. I booked them, I wrote with them, and so they became the studio band. At that time, there was a Memphis Rhythm Section, a Nashville Rhythm Section, and so we started talking about what to name the band, and we came up with all these clever ideas. I said, hell, this is the Atlanta Rhythm Section. That's what this is. And so a lot of people don't know what when you say Atlanta Rhythm Section, what that means, it means that they were the band in Atlanta that played on all the records. And so that's how the Atlanta Rhythm Section came about, and that's what they were. They were session musicians, every one of them.